Hey guys, we're back, and yeah, we're about to start our second day in court. Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept for a grand total of 0 hours. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. You too. You look like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good luck gift for you. The voice print analysis came back and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial video and the tape recording are one and the same. In other words, the recording's a fabrication. Yep. The lab is continuing their study of the tape so far. They've found signs of overdubbing, but it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased. Dump. Who's there? Wait! Did you see who it was? No. I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping. I wonder if he saw our hand. Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and Boxgirl were listening in too. I will make sure they don't make a run for it. That is my final gift to you. Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. Time for a mini Cords of Steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice and I'm fine! Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes and I'm fine! Apollo with his Cords of Steel thing. Alright, day 2. Court is now in session. All rise. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready as well. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell? Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody. Understood? Your baldness. Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later I shall grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury. Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday. A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. The art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the bungling detective who overlooked that, he's paying for his failure as we speak. Poor Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all his body parts intact. But if that's the case, then what will we... The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from art room to stage. And I mean to prove it here this day. It's just like Detective Fulbright said. But what else does he have up his sleeve? My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the bloodstain. Blood was also found on some pottery next to the window over the maintenance area, which is to say the body was carried over to that very window. From there it was dropped down to the maintenance area below, and though there was nary a scratch to the body aside from the fatal wound. That too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall. Then a ball cart was used to haul the body over to the stage. That's not very clever. It's the same exact body moving scheme as the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way.
Objection.
Your propensity to spew forth words before you think is not very clever either. Why, Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it's time for you to come forth. Of course it's you. Because he's gonna get freaking nailed. Well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation? Hugh O'Connor. I'm a senior at Themis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told that lawyer there that I would testify to the truth, so I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes? What's he up to now? The court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now your testimony, please. Alright, bring it. What O'Connor saw. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading toward me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client. Never a snappy comeback when I need one. He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible. To protect the student who had to climb up high when setting up the stage, a mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse. Our client is the student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put the mat away after they use it?
Objection!
Oh, there's plenty wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such a lofty height. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body. It sucks being the last to know everything. It does. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by the mat. If the only mat of that thickness was where the body is assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to this case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm gonna turn your arrogant, perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure. I actually want to do that because this guy's kind of a pain. Alright. What O'Connor saw. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. Let's press him a lot. Our client was simply putting the mat away. It had nothing to do with this case. That is where you are wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school. Blah, blah, blah. We know this. I was watching her from a vantage point between the stage and maintenance area. Mr. O'Connor, are you positive you were standing exactly where you said? I was between the stage and maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop. He's sticking to his guns. The issue here is where Hugh was standing when he says he saw Junie. But nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper. Oh, and before you ask, I had my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That is not an issue. I wasn't going to say that. Between the stage and the maintenance area. Now, I need some sort of evidence to prove that he wasn't watching her between there. What to do? Between the stage in the maintenance area. I don't know what to press for this, though. Like, to present on this, I mean. She was heading toward me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. You shouldn't assume anything. It only shows that you're not positive.
Objection.
Such wild momentum. Perhaps you were a raging bull in your past life. Tisk, don't compare me to some stupid farm animal. Hoy, Justice Dono. Our assertion is Juniper was simply putting the mat away. In that case, where would she be taking it? Oh, to the storehouse over in the maintenance area. Precisely. Therefore, there is naught wrong with the witness's judgment in this matter. It is your wild charges that are the issue here. But I cannot help it if you keep seeing red. He's going to get a face full of justice, Apollo style, if he keeps that up. Anyway, I saw her heading toward me. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. Then it's entirely possible that someone else moved the body, correct?
Objection.
Are you mad or merely delusional? Everyone was in the lecture hall before the mock trial. The rest of the campus was empty. Ergo, the only probable suspects were the 3 trial participants. I know. Thank you for stating the obvious. I also know that you, Hugh O'Connor, were one of the participants. Mr. Confidence sure goes all out when he tells the truth. Well, I don't think he meant for any of that to be misleading, but it doesn't make it factual. Careful now, Athena. A genius like you could be leading you right into a trap. I'd be surprised if he wasn't, but all I can do is charge forward with both eyes open. Alright. I need to find something. It's gotta be here, but I don't know what to present, really. Confused.
Objection.
No? Okay. With the wasted effort award. She was behind the backdrop. What can I present? I'm so, like, lost.
Objection. I'm lost. I don't know. This is a hard one. Very hard. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I lost that. Wait. No. Okay, never mind. So, yeah. I was trying to think of something with Lady Justice, but yeah, it seemed like that was a failure. Alright. Yeah, this is it. Alright. So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area? Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the students setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here?
Why, yes. In fact, there were a bunch of those next to my house, till a few days ago, too. It was so noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek on how it piqued my interest.
Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind the stage backdrop.
Oh my, but the screen would have been completely in the way.
That's right. Therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point.
Oh, gotcha. Order, order! Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to this court?
The screen. Right. It must have slipped my mind. What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have, and the genius level lapse of memory that people like me have. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal everyday brain fart already?
Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the lapse of memory?
That's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen. You're testifying that our client was behind the stage? But need I remind this court the back of the stage is not visible from the front. To actually see our client behind the stage from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor. Damn. Youch.
You're getting him there, Athena.
Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
Oh, here comes this bastard. Alright, golden boy. Is this not your chance? Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest. The truth? What truth? The fact that golden boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage. But then the screen would have blocked his view of...
Objection!
On the ground, yes, his view would have been blocked indeed. But consider how smoke always wants to rise up high. Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think... something on the other side of the screen. Something high enough to see the stage. No way, this crane right here. But I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial. Me neither. But it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's far enough, Prosecutor Blackwell. Remember you promised. I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information. What's all this about? A promise? Is this about whatever Blackwell is using against him? And what's it got to do with going into the crane? Golden Boy did not go up in that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within school grounds.
What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane?
The witness, sir. I object to the prosecutor's last statement. There's no proof I ever operated that crane. Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site the previous day, too. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Yep. As the court can see, this photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. He does, actually. Yep. Are you serious? This is ridiculous. How very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is as ridiculous as the witness maintains. Ridiculous bit. The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light.
That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that?
The person in this photo has one really distinguishing feature. I'm not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify the person in this photo as the witness by examining his neck, probably. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck.
Why, yes, you can see it right there. But then, are you saying you mean to...
Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy. You're a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off. Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see your neck. Guess I have no choice. Oh, is that their friendship thing?
Oh my.
So where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Well, it sure looks like the neckband in the photo. Should we have the photo analyzed? You're one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school.
But when you factor in all the required tests and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane?
Oh, about that. You see, I'm a genius, so you know.
Objection!
Yeah, he was lying. Let us dispense with this insane charade, Golden Boy. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't. High school seniors are 19 at most. Thus they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor? Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? No, don't. Please. Actually, Golden Boy here is 25. He took a 7-year break from school. Wait, come again. Take a gander at the official school enrollment documentation. It's all right there. Yelch. 25? You mean he's older than me?
A 25-year-old high school student.
A 7-year break. 7 years, I've just one thing to say. There are 2 kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind, you mouth breathers take. And the genius kind, people like me take.
Objection!
But a genius would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Even geniuses make mistakes. I just happen to make mine only 7 years in a row. Only you could get away with using only like that. Enough of this jibber-jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no need to deliberate the matter further.
Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as in the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me?
Nah. As long as a mat was used to move the body, Junie's going to be under suspicion. Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor!
Yes, Miss Sykes?
I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. A little conjecture has never stopped us before. Interesting. Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane to... The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. You sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator. He could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter. Save that this does not bode well for you. Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap? Watch this. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed. Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating the crane itself is so complex it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that's a ketchup stain. You wish. My hand was injured and required surgery. That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time. I have already verified this with the hospital of treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say. So how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that. It has no relevance to this case. 2 hands are required to operate complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by crane. Now I'm the fool. I'd planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanting to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. And here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for. Now that the defense's sophistry is laid bare, I would have the court recall my claim.
The body was dropped out of the third floor window to a mat near the maintenance area. Then a ball cart was used to move it to the stage. See? I've been paying attention.
Well done, your boldness. Now consider this. The accused was sighted dragging that mat, ergo, it was she who moved the body. Well, I think you were on the right track, Athena. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect, if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as the defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But... Oh, is he telling me to think of another way besides the crane?
Miss Sykes, if you have a counter-argument, this court would love to hear it. And if
you do not, it is time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, your boldness? No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right?
Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case.
There is a sword of great renown that cuts down sophistic lawyers. Its name is evidence. Tis, you don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it. What's wrong? What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and a creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved without it being dropped. How could anyone lower it without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Yep. There clearly is. Someone could have easily used that thing.
Oh, yes, of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us.
All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used. The key here is the thing that ties the art room and the stage together. Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance. This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackwell. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run or reel in the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down to the stage via this wire. Yep.
Objection.
Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't some kind of high wire act. The body surely would have fallen. Yet, there are no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection.
Oh, you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that. I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, it was tied up in a knot. The bottom part of the school banner had been tied into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried?
Well, go on. Please explain.
The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. And then she fell out onto stage. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat. And that's why we found her all like how she was.
I've heard the phrase, carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying?
Objection.
I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is as shaky as the corpse performing that absurd high wire act. If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it. I trust you recall the bloodstains left on the art room pottery. If the wire had been used to move the body, it would have been It would have to be via the window above the quad, the one with the winch. However, the blood-stained pottery was next to the window above the maintenance area. That's true. How am I gonna get out of this one? Ergo, the wire and banner had not at all to do with this case. Oh, the blood-stained pottery. I remember that. This doesn't look good. We'll be back at the mat theory if you don't do something.
Well, Miss Sykes, I hope you have something better this time than a circus act.
If my wire theory is true, then the blood on the pottery must not have been... the victim's blood. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from? Shame on you, Sykes Dono. Have a little more respect for the constabulary. Fulbright? Looks like they didn't check it. Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes. Spare me your cheek. We will know not either way till the tests are run. True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can. Your baldness. I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant.
Of course. It shouldn't take long to get the results back.
Fulbright. You gotta love and you gotta hate him. Like, 'cause he's just weird, but then he's just... I don't know, when he's scared, he just looks funny.
Oh my, that was quick.
We're history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please, please let it be someone else's. It seems the blood was not from the victim.
What?
Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved with this case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. Score! Nice. Turns it back around. Oh yeah. Don't worry, Junie. Just try to relax. Hugh's hand. His hands were dripping with blood. Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand has suffered a serious injury. He sustained the wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his blood-stained hands as they passed each other in the first floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way now to turn aside her blade, but do not cast the blame on me. Your grudge is with Sykes Dono, for it is she who forces me to expose your secret. Fine, whatever. Wow, how much dirt does he have on you? The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. It was inside that Miriam Scuttlebutt's script was found. Miss Scuttlebutts? But didn't the prosecution already claim that? This envelope is the one that contained her script. Circumstances have changed, you see. Golden Boy had hidden this from us all.
Let's see here. My word, talk about the world's most painful paper cut.
Indeed. You can clearly see that if this envelope is not opened correctly, a powerful spring-loaded blade will shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told of the correct way to open it was Constant Corte. You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission and you'll wish you hadn't. Oh, crap. She's deadly. Yeah, 'cause Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that. The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script and paid for his foolishness. Ouch! This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena. The wound isn't that deep. We've still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and banner. Therefore, the defense once again asserts just that. Now, who's holding it now? You call yourself a lawyer? Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh?
The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out.
And you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs, but whatever. It seems you've forgotten the two statues that were on stage directly below the wire. A body sent sliding down that wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away?
Why, I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together.
So the body would have collided with the statues. What if they did collide? Wait, that's it. Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume the body crashed into them, that would explain it. That would also explain that loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room.
Oh, now that you mention it. You and Mr. Wright went out to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard that said sound? It was a little after the mock trial had started. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears there in the waiting room when... Precisely. If that sound you heard did happen while the body was being moved, that would place it during the mock trial. Which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. Oh, crap. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water. Stupid contradiction. It's going to get me and our case killed.
The focus was on just 3 suspects because the body was moved before the mock trial. That has...
Objection!
Sorry about that, guys. I should only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship of your body. Yeah, I guess. Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body? Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it? You what? I never saw the body.
Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury.
There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about this whole time. I'm sorry. Yes, we've exposed his big lie for what it is. But Why would he lie about this to begin with?
Order. The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and the prosecution's case.
Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know the body was moved using the wire and school banner.
Indeed. That much I shall concede, Sykes Donald. The body was moved as you stated, and in the midst of the mock trial. So both sides are satisfied then? If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have our 3 suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it is an entirely different story.
Right. All 3 suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? Amidst the mock trial, she was the one soul who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall. What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio?
Oh no, how could I forget? It was...
Junie. Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock trial to move the body was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods, for she was in charge of the audio.
No!
Damn. Why yes, I see. That does make perfect sense.
This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue.
The Twisted Samurai strikes again.
Tisk. Twisted. It's more like dirty rotten.
Your baldness. It is time to put an end to this farce. The prosecution has presented a quite convincing case, but the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes?
Apollo, what are we going to do? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niet.
I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too.
Poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection? Well, I object to...
Watch that be means. Oh, no, never mind. Stop right there. All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime.
Perfect.
Crime? What?
Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday?
Yeah. Yes, we did. This had better not be another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead. Arrest me. The real killer is right before you. Order, I say, Mr. O'Connor. You already confessed yesterday, then earlier today recanted your confession. As if you mouth-breathers could comprehend my genius. The end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Objection!
Enough. The only thing maddening is the ignominy. I can't say words. Ignominy that you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime. There is no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi, for you were at the mock trial. And it is silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time.
There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering this trial with your silly little act. Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of genius that transcended even perfection. He used confession. You won't believe this, but I used a body double. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double almost did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. He's so lying. I really did.
I have a question. I was hoping the defense and prosecution might help answer. Is it just me, or does the witness's testimony make no sense at all?
No, it's not just you, Your Honor. All I got from listening to that was a headache. Yeah, that was just plain weird, especially the whole thing about a body double.
Well, I'm relieved it's not just me. And the prosecution?
Your baldness. Summon an ambulance this instant. The witness is stark raving mad.
Yes, I think that would be for the best. Now then, let's pretend that never happened and move on to my verdict.
You people don't believe me? It's not a matter of not believing you. It's more along the lines of questioning your sanity. Yeah, the funny farm just called. They want their genius back. Shut your pie holes. The intellect of a genius transcends even logic. Besides, don't you guys have that weird device for testimonies like this?
Objection!
Widget's not a weird device, and I don't waste him on ridiculous testimonies. Easy there, Tiger. Think of it this way. We don't want a verdict to be passed just yet. So how about we give Widget a try? Well, this is against my better judgment, but I'd like to conduct a short therapy session.
Your better judgment? I'm a judge, and it's far beyond mine. Yet I find it hard to say no. Prosecutor Blackwell, I trust you have no objections. Prosecutor Blackwell? The prosecutor said, rubbish. We will be out on a stroll, then left with Detective Fulbright. Wow.
How does he get away with stuff like that?
Then I'll interpret that as meaning he has no explicit objections. Alright, Miss Sykes, you may proceed with your therapy session.
I've seen my share of crazy trials, but this one takes the cake. No, I think that demon one was really super weird. Actually, the DLC seems super weird. I am going to be playing the DLC that came out. I do have it. You won't believe this, but I used body double. He's happy about it. That wasn't the real me at the mock trial. That means I didn't almost lose. My body double did. I slipped out stealthily while my double took care of the trial. I had the run of the campus. In short, I'm the killer. Juniper's innocent. What's causing happiness? It's Juniper, isn't it? Probably. Mr. O'Connor, yesterday you said that you didn't really care about Miss Woods anymore. I already told Juniper, so I might as well tell you. I don't really care about her anymore. Why? Yeah, well, Juniper reported my secret to Professor Corte. His secret? Oh, the bribe. She wanted nothing to do with me because I had disappointed her. That's why I don't care about her anymore. I was never trying to protect her. My confession was always about one thing and one thing only. The truth.
Objection!
Mr. O'Connor, you feel great happiness in the fact that you might help set Miss Woods free. So much so that It overshadows all of your other emotions. What are you? I can hear it clearly now, Mr. O'Connor. The discord you've been trying to suppress. People don't normally feel like you do when you confessed. So Hugh really was trying to protect Juniper. Yes, I'm sure of it. Hugh's feelings for her are the real deal. Damn, that's all I broke down. But that means his confession is... Finally figured out the obvious, have we? Oh no, it's this dude.
Why, Prosecutor Blackwell, you're back.
The confession was naught but lies, save for the part about being in the mock trial. Can we all agree now that the killer is the one in charge of the audio, i.e. the accused? Gah, why couldn't you have taken a longer stroll? No, you haven't unraveled the genius of my body double trick yet. You can't be serious. Do you really expect us to believe you had a body double? Yes, I do, but if you think I didn't, then prove it, eh? Either we quit here and Juniper is found guilty, or we play along with Hugh's delusion. Let's go with the least worst choice, but first let me update his testimony.
Well, now he's shocked about using a body double.
Mr. O'Connor, this motion... No, okay, that's wrong. He's happy and he's sad that he killed her. Or something of that nature. Let's try the happy symbol. Okay, no. I was just wondering. He's happy about a lot of... Okay, let's look at the new testimony. Juniper's innocent. And he's super sad, but he's also slightly sad. I mean, he's super happy, but sad. No, how's that wrong? Alright, then it's the shocked emotion that's wrong with this. Because why would he be, like, sad that Juniper's innocent? No? It's weird. He has no emotion at all here. No? Huh. Yeah. Is it the happy one here? That he's super freaking happy? No. That wasn't the real him at the mock trial, he says. Damn it, man. Well, happy's not an unexpected emotion now, apparently, I guess. This should be the unexpected emotion. He's sad. You don't want to do this? What the hell? I'm so lost. This is stupid. I think I did every emotion, right? But and his competitive nature. So that would mean that it's this one where there's no emotion at all. I didn't almost lose, you say. Very odd. You exhibited happiness the entire time, except during this statement. You don't know when to give up. Wait, now that I think about it. No, don't stop making stuff up. When I left the lecture hall. It was during Professor Means' pre-trial speech. That's when I moved the body. I then slipped back in just before the verdict. So you're saying you were there the moment your double was about to lose? Yes, I was. Naturally, I wasn't happy when I saw that. In any case, I was at the far end of the lecture hall, behind the screen. I figured no one would see me if I came and went through the doors there. Sykes, Dono. How much longer will you indulge him in this charade? While it's true that none in the audience might see him go through either of those doors, the faculty seats on the balconies are a different story and have a splendid view. I thought you could do better than that. The lawyer's bench is on the right side when facing the front of the hall. I used the door on the right side near the lawyer's bench. That means my movements were only visible to someone in the left balcony seat. But that seat was empty at the time, which is only natural. After all, it belonged to Professor Courtet, and as we all know, she was already dead by then. That can't be right. An empty balcony seat on the left side contradicts this piece of evidence. Piece of evidence. Empty balcony seat on the left side. I have no idea where this contradiction is going, but I don't have any other moves at this point. Guess I'll just have to follow it and see where this takes me. You said the left balcony seat was empty, but was it really? I saw it with my own eyes. It was definitely empty. But what about this diagram? According to this, Professor Means was supposed to be seated in the left balcony seat. But if you left the lecture hall during his pre-trial speech, he would have been standing there at his seat addressing the students at faculty. No, this can't be right. Yeah. Damn, he's got a lot of noise problems. You do know when any favor by exposing the falsities of his confession. You do know one any favor. Oh, okay. I've told plenty of lies so far, but this part is true, I tell you. There was nobody in the left balcony seat. You gotta believe me. It doesn't seem like he's lying this time. Okay, Mr. O'Connor. Let's have you testify again, but this time don't spare any details. You got it. I'll repeat it as many times as you'd like. I mean, my ingenious escape act warrants repeating considering I'm the real killer. All I really care about is whether that seat was empty or not. Okay? The second floor was deserted. Why won't you believe me? It's true, I tell you. I went out through the back door without anyone noticing. Then all I had to do was go through the empty audio control room. It leads into the hallway, so I was perfectly capable of moving the body. Why is he sad about this? I detected a powerful sadness and fear right after he said this part. It's as if you'd said something you shouldn't have. What's wrong with you? You shouldn't reveal a person's inner feelings for all to see. Mr. O'Connor, it's you who is revealing your inner emotions by the way you speak. Plus, I have a good idea about why you're feeling sad. You're a horrible person. Can't you just leave me be? You said that you went through the empty audio control room, but that's not true, is it? There was someone who returned from there once Professor Means finished his speech. And that someone who was in the audio control room was... He was sad. The obvious would be Juniper, right? But if I say Robin, that's a failure. Okay. Yeah, whatever. I was trying to think out of the box. So I guess you gotta think in the box. It's none of them. Professor Means was giving his speech. So I guess it was Juniper. Right? I know you realized there was a problem with your statement as you were saying it. That's why you felt so uneasy if the audio control room really was empty. That would mean Miss Woods was roaming around the campus. Mr. O'Connor, if you really want to protect Miss Woods, just tell the truth. If you believe in her, revealing the truth is the same as protecting her. Juniper's innocent. That's the truth. But in this dark age of the law, the truth can be easily twisted to serve anyone's needs. When the end justifies the means, your only choice is to fight back with lies. Hugh's heart won't hold out under this battle between truth and lies. Is there something I can do to make him recant his false testimony? I fear nothing now that I have lost everything. Go ahead, Prosecutor Blackwell. Cut me down if you wish. I thought you'd never ask. With you gone, we may swiftly proceed to a verdict. Yeah. Oh, crap. He broke out of his shackles again. I don't want to be the poor accountant down at the detention center. Hugh O'Connor, in defense to your valor, I will limit your suffering with one clean blow. Could you wait just one moment before you cut him down? Do not come between a samurai and his foes, Sykes-Dono. I never learned about this in law school. Careful, prosecutor. Remember that shocking experience you had last time? Very well, Golden Boy may live. For now. Enough already, Mr. O'Connor. Miss Woods would never want you to protect her this way. She values the friendship between the three of you more than anything. That's where you're wrong. She doesn't feel anything for me now. But what does it matter anymore? I might as well tell you everything. This is no doubt news to you, but I'm not and never was a genius. Sorry, but I already knew. Me too. And don't forget me, though in all fairness, it was pretty obvious. I thought he was a genius. The stuff he said was crazy. No need to rub it in. Just shut up and listen. It all started several days ago. I accidentally learned that my parents have been paying good money for my grades. But that's bribery. So the bribery wasn't Hugh's idea. All of my perfect scores were the product of cold hard cash, not genius. Even worse, when I confronted my parents about it over the phone, Juniper overheard me.
Oh my, what a terrible misunderstanding.
I've been living a lie. I don't know what else there is to say. I'm no genius. I'm completely worthless. A perfect 0. Hugh. Even so, I still wanted to make it up to Juniper for disappointing her like that. That's why I wanted to clear her name by pinning the blame on me. I mean, she probably hates me now, so it'd be a relief for her to see me locked away. If you were trying to help her, then why did you testify against her? You were the ones who told me to tell the truth yesterday. So I thought if I did, it would help her. He wasn't trying to provoke us? Looks like we seriously misunderstood him, in more ways than one. At the detention center yesterday, Junie was in tears when she opened up to me. But the truth is, the friendship between the three of them is still rock solid. If there was something that could help me prove that to you. We even have proof of our friendship. Yeah, as long as our friendship lasts, you can bet we'll be carrying them around. I know. What about that proof of friendship they mentioned? I wonder where or what it is. I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world. Maybe it's... No, that's definitely it. That band around his neck. Mr. O'Connor, that band around your neck, that's your proof of friendship, isn't it?
Proof of friendship? Is that anything like a proof of purchase barcode?
In court, evidence is everything. That's why the three friends created friendship bands. It's the evidence that proves their friendship.
Ho ho, how very interesting. And chick.
Or chic, he might have said. If they have doubts about their friendship, they can look to the proof they have on hand. That's why Mr. O'Connor's hand always goes to his neck when he is pressured. It proves he still has feelings of friendship towards the other two. It doesn't matter if I wear it. If those two... But they feel the same way too. I know they wear their friendship bands somewhere. Junie and Robin must both feel the same as you. I just know it. Everything Hugh has said leads me to believe that. In fact, he may have also just told me that the others wear their proof of friendship. Where they're easy to touch. All we have to do is think back to their testimonies. Ready? Miss Newman holds her arm when pressured. And Miss Woods holds her wrist. I know Miss Woods very well. She would never abandon her friendship with you over something like this. And taking the blame for her will only succeed in making her terribly sad. Oh. Cutscene.
Robin, those bands of friendship that you made.
Robin made the bands.
You may have forgotten about them, but not me.
Aww. And Robin.
And to think, I should have known better than to doubt my best friends.
Damn. Aw, Hugh. I didn't kill anyone. And I didn't have a body double. I didn't move the body. I didn't even see it, and it may look like I'm speed reading Zen and the Art of Mastering the Bar exam. But I haven't read a single word.
Well, you could have fooled me. In fact, you did.
So he's just been like speed reading the book, like just looking at it pretty much, not reading it. Phew. So Miss Sykes, can I place my trust in you? I'm going to save Junie. So yes, you can place your trust in me.
Then am I to understand that the witness is recanting his confession?
Yes. A most roundabout trial. I much preferred the turnabout variety myself. Now we are back to the fact that there was but one suspect who lacked an alibi, which is, in the end, the truth you've been seeking this entire time. So we're back to square one. I'm exhausted and depressed. It probably doesn't matter at this point, but I might as well update the moon matrix. Huh? Does this mean... Further resistance is futile. The time for a verdict is nigh. Please wait. What sort of devilry are you up to now? What if our client wasn't the only one without an alibi? The trial would continue, right?
Well, yes, I suppose it would. But after such thorough investigation, does such a person really exist?
Yes, we found someone. It may have seemed like a major roundabout, but Mr. O'Connor's testimony has cracked this case. There's no more noise. He was telling the truth now. During the mock trial, the balcony seat opposite him really was empty, which now means there is one person unaccounted for. Aw, crap. It's really gonna turn into this? Besides Junie, the only other person without an alibi during the mock trial is... The balcony seat was empty. That much is true, isn't it, Mr. O'Connor? That's right. How many more times do I have to say it? So basically, Professor Means wasn't where he was supposed to be during the mock trial.
Silence.
Need I remind you? Every last soul in the lecture hall heard him deliver his speech. I know, and that's not in dispute here. Now let me explain how a speech could be given from an empty seat. It was... What if the speech was pre-recorded? That's the only way the speech could have been delivered from an empty balcony seat. Uh-oh. Wait, are you accusing Professor Means? That's insane. I mean, he's the one who gave me the tape recorder. Take this to the police, he said, and tell them you found it. What? Really? Wait a second. Mr. O'Connor, did you say that Professor Means gave that phony recording to you?
Phony? The defense will refrain from hurling unsubstantiated allegations.
Well, I said he gave it to me, but what do you mean it's phony? Wow. Who could have seen this development? The voice shouting, "You're a goner," as recorded on this tape, was dubbed onto it, using a line our client said in the mock trial video.
Why, this is an extremely crucial piece of evidence.
Damn. So it all goes back to the frickin' teacher. Professor Means gave Hugh the phony tape. If that's really true, then Professor Means has guilt written all over him. Your Honor, the defense moves to call Professor Aristotle Means to the stand.
Silence.
The seat was never empty. 'Twas but an oversight by our dullard of a witness. An inmate who was formerly a surgeon once told me something. He said it's often all too easy to overlook critical symptoms. Well, we're not going to overlook this oversight. If the speech was pre-recorded, the basis of suspecting our client would be shattered. Let's check with Professor Means and see whether the empty seat was a witness oversight. A verdict without first looking into that would be inconceivable.
That's enough, both of you. Now here's my opinion on the matter. While a surgeon overlooking critical symptoms is a problem, a witness oversight, too, must not be overlooked. Thus, as to the matter of whether Professor Means was or was not in his faculty seat, I believe we must ask the professor himself.
I agree. Professor Means should be here in the gallery today.
Do as you please.
Alright.
Will you please state your name and occupation for the record? Certainly. I'm Aristotle Means. I teach the lawyer course at Deems Legal Academy, and let me add that while I welcome any opportunity to assist with the trial, I don't care for this undue suspicion.
Don't worry, Professor. We're just interested in the mock trial video right now. We just need to take another look at the speech you gave. Can we count on your cooperation in this?
Very well. If that's all you're interested in, please proceed, Miss Sykes.
We need to find some sort of evidence that shows this speech was pre-recorded.
Alright. I believe we're ready. Let's roll the video. Good afternoon. I would like to start by thanking you for coming here today. The mock trial, the crown jewel event of the school festival, will begin shortly. When I was a student, I too could hardly wait for this day to come.
Oh no, I'd forgotten how long and boring his speech was.
Wake me up once this is over.
Hey, no fair.
The experiences of our youth have a powerful and profound effect on our adult. Ah, you there. Wake up. Pay attention.
Huh? I'm awake, Is that right, Your Honor? Huh?
What? I'm awake too. Wide awake. Wow. Even Blackwell falls asleep on him. Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today. Pay attention, and you may make a difference one day. Now let the mock trial begin. That is about it. One of my better speeches, if I do say so myself. I even saw some of our students with tears in their eyes.
He's obviously not familiar with the phrase bored to tears.
Listen, Sykes Donald. If you have subjected me to this epic study in tedium without purpose, Taka will feast on your tongue after I've cut it out.
Eek! But you were asleep the whole time.
Well, Miss Sykes, did you notice anything strange about that speech?
Could I please hear that last part again?
Once again, our pure white Lady Justice will be watching over all of you today.
There! I finally found what we needed. Professor Means, I have only one question about your speech. What does that last part we just heard contradict with this?
Lady Justice's gold.
The professor said the pure white Lady Justice would be watching over them. But the Lady Justice in the video isn't even close to being white. It's as gold can be.
I'm not sure. I can wrap my jaw around that to test its authenticity.
I didn't say it was made of gold, Your Honor. Now, it's true that this statue is pure white, but it broke before the mock trial began. The one you see here is its replacement.
Oh, well, that's a shame on every account.
Ironically, this golden statue sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the white one, meaning the professor wouldn't have made a mistake in its color if he'd been present.
It seems that I have caused some confusion, but it was merely an oversight on my part.
The statue was in the middle of the room. How could you not know what it looked like?
Well, I was in the balcony seat. Furthermore, the statue had previously been white. I'm afraid this isn't sufficient evidence of the speech being pre-recorded.
We had our answer long ago. The accused was the only one to leave the lecture hall. No, wait. There's got to be something that can prove that the speech was pre-recorded. According to the mock trial video, the speech started here and ended here. It was a little over 10 minutes, but I doubt anyone wants to be tortured again. It was only a little over 10 minutes. It felt like it went on forever. How'd you figure out how long it was? Easy. There's a timestamp on the top right. All you have to do is subtract the time the speech started from the time it ended. The speech goes from 10 o'clock minute mark to 20:35. Wait a second. I could swear I've seen the same interval of time listed among the evidence. Maybe there's a way for me to use the speech time to show that it was pre-recorded. I would like the court to take a look at this.
This is?
The voice print analysis that proves the voice on the tape recorder belongs to our client.
Yes, but didn't we just establish that the voice on the tape recorder was a fabrication?
We did, but what I'd like to focus on is the noise that is also there.
Noise?
Yes, the defense believes it resulted when the tape's previous recording was erased. And what do you hope to prove by that? The length of the noise is what's important. It's 10 minutes and 35 seconds in all. And what did the timestamp read at the moment Professor Means began his speech?
That would be exactly 10 minutes.
Now let's fast forward this long-winded exercise in boredom to the end. Okay, stop. The video timestamp now reads 20:35. Based on this, we know the time it took for the speech alone, right? Subtract 10 minutes and you get 10:35. 10 minutes and 35 seconds?
That's the judge.
Right. 10 minutes and 35 seconds, the same as the noise on the tape recording. I assume you all understand what this means. Professor Means' pre-recorded speech had been where the noise is now.
Silence.
You seem rather confident, considering this is a mere happenstance match of numbers. But is it really just numbers?
The lab is continuing to study of the tape. So far they've found signs of overdubbing, but it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased.
The police are analyzing the noise as we speak. It won't be long until we know what was originally there. Now I'm sure of it. The professor was trying to create an alibi with the recording by pinning the crime on Junie. Well, he's not gonna get away with it. Not on my watch.
Miss Sykes, I believe you are well aware of my methodology. Even if Juniper were the perpetrator, I would vigorously defend her as per my word, and to that purpose I offered to be her lawyer. Alas, look what's happened.
All I've stated are obvious deductions derived from evidence and testimony.
Truth be told, I had no intention of testifying. I had been keeping quiet for Juniper's sake. But now that you cast this blame upon me, I have no choice but to reveal the truth.
Uh-oh, this doesn't sound good.
I will now reveal the truth behind why I had to pre-record my speech before the mock trial. I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and mean what I say, by all means.
Alright, meanie.
Let's do this. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do. Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you?
This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up to perfectly be true.
Oh, this most consequential of occasions. Let me completely be frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means.
I don't believe you.
When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent. Her two friends? The witnesses? Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was to ensure all three walked free. All three were to achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end.
You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics.
Yes, well, that is why I vowed to vigorously defend her despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now in the defense of justice, order, and all that is good, the end justifies the means.
I'm so sick of hearing that phrase.
Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if it's victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality.
That does it. He's gonna regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideals in here. Since he's already surrendered to the dark age of the law, it's up to me to fight it.
Why so silent, Sykes Dono? Something the matter?
This is a court of law. It's no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do the talking.
Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify this situation.
No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is.
Alright, bring it on, you little bastard. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording. Now what can I do? No, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Oh crap. I did not mean to do that. Damn it. I didn't mean to do that. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. I was too wrapped up in the moment. I'm sorry. Do over. That was fake. I didn't mean to do that. I totally hit the wrong button. I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to examine it. And I don't know. I guess I didn't pay attention well.
Come on, hurry up. Alright, let's just press them a lot. I doubt our client would have come to you with something like that.
You have a point there. If only Professor Corte had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead.
So our client came to talk to you after Professor Corte was dead.
Let's go through this step by step, shall we? First, Juniper came to me that day. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the break.
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi?
You have every reason to be surprised. I too was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly.
Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is, how am I going to expose it?
It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused?
What? That should have worked. Wait, no, because he said for he to pass it to... No, okay, never mind. She didn't ask that of him, and he's stupid to say that, because he's a stupid face. No! Alright, I need to press him some more and stop trying to take guesses in the wind here. Alright. She asked me to pre-record the speech. Did you consider that a threat?
Yes, but it's now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you two are being used by Juniper.
What?
Your Honor, I ask that you two do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Wood is quite clever and extremely tough. And perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings.
Your Honor, the witness's testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character.
Very well. Objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording.
How could you overlook such a threat as a teacher? It's your duty to discipline students.
Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder, and that she hadn't meant to threaten me. Really? Please do explain. Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does the witness realize what he is saying? Surely you must see the true meaning in my words. I'm merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times.
Oh wow. His way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words.
It is the dark age in which live, and there's much I would like to say on the matter. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do.
You were trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie.
What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I have nothing but admiration for how Junie was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student.
Liar. You're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying isn't what he's really thinking?
You cannot possibly overturn my claim, so isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not true, then what is?
If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm gonna find a hole in his story. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's the total pro. I mean, that all I made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his words. Time to see how consistently the professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. Alright.
Objections!
So let me get this straight. You were trying to help Miss Woods. Ha! That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor.
Such defamation of my character. And your hair falsely's Your Honor. It is an outrage. Hair follicles, my bad. Miss Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now please take a look at this. The witness gave this tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take this to the police and tell them you found it."
There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise, involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
The tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? True that. Oh, we getting a little mad now? They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself with while blaming another. You, Professor, are the embodiment of the dark age of the law.
Why, you little... You dare call my teachings and methods lies? Oh crap. What the hell? Demas Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you.
Huh? Professor Means, what's with your hair?
Quiet! No talking in class!
Jeez, dude. Ow!
Homeroom, October 26. Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes.
Huh? Here?
Apollo Justice.
I'm fine. Here.
Fool! The proper response is here, without any extraneous information.
Ouch! Here.
Next, Your Honor. Here. C class? That's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said, Simon Blackwell. Are you here or not?
Blackwell's like, F you. There's always one, isn't there?
Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now, get out of my class this incident.
Get out. Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher?
Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles.
Rah!
It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinary committee. But is that really so shocking?
Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Fulbright.
Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right. Class is now in session.
Why do I have the sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomach ache? Main point, Juniper. Juniper is the killer. I am innocent.
Pay attention. I'm not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
He looks so evil. But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you were the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. Please note, I was not at school.
Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8. But I was already at home by that time, so how could I have been involved in this crime?
Professor Means, can you really prove you had already gone home by that time?
Can you prove that I was still at school?
No, I can't.
So you admit it. Well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty.
Actually, I think I can prove that.
But you have also earned yourself laboratory cleaning duties until you graduate.
Yeah, I do enough of that at the office.
Objection.
No way, man. I totally object. Robin? I can't believe I fell for the Professor Silver tongue lies.
Why, you! How dare you talk about your teacher like that?
I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. Now I have a confession to make. You know those 2 statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. The statues on stage. Do I want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them, but the last bell rang before I had time for the other one. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, the professor was there on the stage after the last bell. Right. And it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished.
Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony.
The professor told me. I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd made both statues myself. I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin.
Quick! Somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight! Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something! Gah! And who's in charge of the class pet around here?
Not interested. But if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course. Only real blades will do.
No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Yeah. Nurse, where's the school nurse when you need one?
It would seem Sykes Dono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff. Quick as lightning.
Very well. Then I will just have to prove my innocence myself. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style. What is that? Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please.
Alright, crazy teacher testimony.
Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30. The defendant, Juniper, saw the 2 statues with her own eyes at 8:30. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. Her defense team was there and heard her say so, too. Don't try to deny it now.
That evening I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was, well, after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large, and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. Alright, the professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address the professor's charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It would probably take me at least twice as long. So personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. Gah, that didn't exactly help our case. But he won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. Now, I'm gonna assume that these... no, not that. That this has something to do with what I'm trying to figure out, maybe. And the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all lawyerly fundamentals. Now, do you understand? I did not leave the stage until I was done. Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until the truth comes out. The more you struggle, the more you sink like so much legal quicksand, so to speak. I use the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Juniper, saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30. Maybe our client only thought she saw the statues. A pity for you, but we have already confirmed it with the accused. She is on record as having seen both statues. Yeah, that's true. Just thought I'd give it a shot. Gahaha. I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It is absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place along with all who believed in you. Tisk, is there no way to get to this guy? You better pay attention. Pay very close attention. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. Why were you in such a hurry? In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Urgh. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? I've tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. Tisk, I guess I concede.
I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time.
I concede that Professor Means never left the stage.
That's right, but what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime.
I'm not gonna give up here.
I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. And unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something. Well, as I said, not yet. No, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors. Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. It's at times like these, when it seems like there's no way out, that you have to... Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how he could commit murder without going there.
Seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. I must use any means possible to distract her. See if she can think while I cast these stones. Yeah, you brought the bird to school.
Sykes, Dono. If I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? If I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about that. About the crime scene? If Professor Means was on the stage the entire time,
then he must be the
then he must be the killer.
Ridiculous. The defense has become utterly incoherent.
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sykes, Dono. Okay, the murder was actually committed here. Oh, sorry. The stage, because that's what I originally said. I'm trying to be thinking all logical when I need to think on what I said, where it was committed. The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all.
The murder occurred in the art room. Silly girl! When the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed.
There wasn't any blood on the stage, really? But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained. It's true, there was no bloodstains on the stage floor, but there was something on the stage that did have a bloodstain, and that would be this school's banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this were on the victim when she was killed.
Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence.
What is this? What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your attacks. The autopsy states the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not.
Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Actually, the defense has something to explain that as well.
You do?
If there was only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood. Oh, it's in the picture? Oh yeah, it is.
Boom! Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner.
It's the Gaviner's banner that had been specially made for the school's concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, the blood would have hit it first. It could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth, and only a small amount would have soaked through to the school banner below. So it makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it.
Hurrah! Hurrah! So that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it.
The governor's banner was like a dishcloth. Surely it was at least towel quality.
Simon, don't just stand there. Do something.
Silence.
Sykes, Donald, you are learning to wield a blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage as you claimed? The bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All that was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we've just finished discussing. The killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room.
To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court.
It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. That someone was most likely the killer, seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked governor's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped onto the floor to complete the ruse. It makes perfect sense.
Gah! Gah! Order! Order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there! The body must have been moved. How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statue, then what was it?
I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The knot in the school banner shows that something was carried along the wire in it. So if that's true, I know what I have to find. Something that was in the art room before the murder, and then on the stage after. The object that was sent down to the wire to crash into the statue was Lady Justice.
Ah! That statue!
Yes, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Cortez's body. The unique statue that you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Cortez accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed that it was originally Lady Justice.
Silence.
Perhaps you are onto something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrap heap relic in such a tedious manner?
Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming!
You didn't know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to interrupt the mock trial. Oh, no. Sorry. I'll get it right this time. Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly have moved the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi.
Gah! That's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says and says what he means by all means.
Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting.
The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage until they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. So answer me this, why didn't anyone see the body that entire time?
That can be explained by...
If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp.
I know, but we've come so far.
Gah, consider yourself schooled. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be.
Just wait a minute.
Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco. Athena Sykes, attorney's badge is just for show. Oh crap. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. Damn. He went nuts on her. But if this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain?
Well, I just have to make sure that doesn't happen. Then won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I've worked so hard to become a lawyer and even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Relax, Athena. Breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Junie. I couldn't protect you, like I said I would.
Objection!
You leave Athena alone, man. She's the one who saved me. It was because of Athena that I could stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saved the friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I. I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. And that's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things.
Objection. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings and give me a chance to re-examine what's important.
But what does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... Objection! It's not over yet, Athena. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Junie, I know you better than most people, Athena, and I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie, but I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence.
Stop your bleeding this instant. You look an utter fool.
Prosecutor Blackwell?
There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard?
Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you-know-who.
You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. You are helpless before the might of lawyers for whom the ends justify the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win. The truth will always wins against people like him. A few spelling errors in this game. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now let me see you smile. Remember what Mr. Wright said. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smile. Do it, Junie. And I mean, Athena. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me. The worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. Alright. So this is the final hit. Professor Corte wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage until it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when did Professor Means remove the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could have removed the body from its hiding place is during the mock trial. The body was moved during the mock trial. It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something to the stage that wasn't there before specifically. The white statue. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school's banner and sent it zipping down to the stage with a crash, killing two birds with one stone. He drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide a body on that stage? It doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Wait a second. How about something that should have been finished but was only mostly done? Something was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside that was already on the stage, capable of concealing a body. The Wright statue. The body was hidden by Wright's statue. Oh, I know. The Mr. Wright statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as the boss's statue. Miss Newman gave up on the Wright statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night.
Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work. The murder of Professor Corte.
Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow.
He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Wright. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue.
What?
I second that what? Now this is getting interesting.
No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
We'll never know until we try.
Uh-oh.
I think I know where this is going. Okay, Apollo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Wright. I'm going to pose like the statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so that I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth?
I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice.
Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. Alright, I think that about does it.
Yeah, see, she looks exactly like a statue.
Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue of Mr. Wright? Or what?
Looks like some random person to me. Weren't the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head.
Forget the hair. The statue's head is way bigger than your average person. Anyway, you gotta hand it to me for trying anyway. Wait, that's it. The hands. Her arms are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrist. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. The marks on her wrist indicated she'd been tied up. Apollo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No. Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Cretay's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want given her hands were tied? Behind my head? Apollo, tie both of my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to fake the spikes on the back of Mr. Wright's head. Sure, but then what about the statue's arms? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it would be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. I can't help thinking you've forgotten something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. Oh, alright, that makes sense. What did the victim's body have that I don't?
Take that!
Oh, right. There was an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo, take that and plunge it into my side. What, are you crazy? Fine then, go get some duct tape. Rapido, schnow. Alright, alright. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. I like these point of views of the courtroom. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now cover me with that cloth. But remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? And bada bing. Mommy, the arm's too short. Shh. Remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But what else could you use for the arm?
Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation and one that makes sense. Now disappoint me again, and the penalty will be doubly painful.
Yikes. I guess I'd better get it right this time. Think, Athena, think. Professor Cretay was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close at hand in his little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Like that right now? Okay, hold on. Please, 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 please be in this photo. It just has to be. The arm on the right statue is really this right here. His staff, right? Got it! I know what he used for the arm on the statue of Mr. Wright.
This is absurd. There is no such thing in this photo.
Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's the staff you have right there.
Staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior.
Whatever. Just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Wright couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure. I'll give your arm a hand, cloth, and binding coming right up.
Objections!
Yep, there it is. It's Phoenix Wright! Look, it's that famous lawyer!
That's definitely him. I'd know that pose anywhere.
We did it! Didn't we? Well, am I not a spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light. Golden light? All I see before me is the pink specter of a man. That's just because Mr. Wright likes his statue. He's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink? Blah, that joke deserves a pink slip.
It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? Blah, the resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence.
Objections!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is... test the spear for blood. We had assumed the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from the spear instead, then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it.
Your Honor, a brief recess if you will. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, but if I burn it? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Surely you don't expect us to take lectures from you now. Now, I ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Wow. Retake bar exam. 30% salary cut? Dismissal? He doesn't want to write it. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. Yeah. Oh, your teeth are broken.
Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means?
It is as Sykes Dono suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He has admitted to this heinous crime, all of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great. He'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. It turns out Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led her to question him at length the day of the killing, right there on that stage. The result? The heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know of the script's content via the victim's note. It seems he came up with a plan to stab the victim with her own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. But that scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Cortez' planner. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. This too was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constant Corte was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes.
To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark ages of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant Juniper Woods.
Not guilty. We did it. That was a grueling, long, frickin' case.
I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you, if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe one day I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference.
Proudly serve Professor Cortez' memory. Do not let her death be in vain.
That's the last thing I expect to hear from him today.
Court is adjourned.
Yeah, Blackwell's actually pretty cool. I mean, he's rough around the edges, but he follows the right way of the law. At least, well, he sort of does, I guess. He's in the middle of it. Thank you, Thena. I really mean it. That was nothing, really. I can take the biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You looked pretty wound up there at the end, literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Apollo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Athena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center where your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. This is where it started. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. That means a lot to me, but I still have lots of work to do. And I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. I promise you, I'll get there someday. That's why, until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's... okay. I think so. What's the big news? The school festival, it was supposed to have been cancelled after what happened, but... we just got a call. In memory of Professor Constant Corte, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended 1 extra day until tomorrow. Really? Alright. The festival. Oh, we get to see the concert.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Alto, baby. It's time for the guitar serenade.
Look at her, looking at Apollo. Oh, I wanted to listen to that. What the hell? October 27th, Themis Legal Academy. Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Ah, your singing voice, Juniper, could melt my Heart. Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar.
Just remember the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win, although Robin had you for a while there.
I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. And you know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm going to make up for my mock trial loss by winning the real deals in court.
Mock trial loss? What loss?
Wait, did they reprise the trial and he won?
Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a battle for the Shiva Devil's Heart.
So, does this mean it's really gonna happen?
Juniper, there's something I've been wanting to say to you.
Huh? Oh, is he going to do what I think he is?
Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, best friends like we've always been?
Huh? Best friends? Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial?
No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius and that I'm really 25 years old.
Wow, but you already dragged it out of me during the trial.
Whoops.
Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin, Miriam.
Me too?
Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking, it's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in.
I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship.
You bet. And what about your BFF, Apollo?
Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl and not in the office.
Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So what kind of guy is he anyway?
Well, if I had to describe him in one word.
And so, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to meet his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate.
Oh crap.
And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Damn. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind?
Damn. And that's the end of that chapter, guys. That episode. We're now in episode 4, The Cosmic Turnabout, which we will do next time. That was a pretty long part. I'll see you guys later. Bye.